Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 10, Ad and Extension Review. This is the 5th step of the 8-part Google Ads audit checklist. Let's open up our audit checklist and get back into it. All right, so we finished mapping out and reviewing our keywords. Now let's talk through the ad and extension review part. So first things first is, are your keywords in your ad copy? So basic, but you want to make sure you're doing it. So go into your ad section and look over your ads and make sure you actually have the keywords in your ad group in your ad copy. So going back here, if we look at our ad relevance, I can already tell just based on the ad relevance, because this is average, we may or may not have these keywords in our ad copy, and there's an opportunity to add them in. And that way we can bump the ad relevance here and increase the quality score. So just go to your ad section and then just take a look and see, are your keywords in your ad copy? So just using this Zoho example, I search CRM software. I can see CRM software is in the ad. Amazing. And then they're taking me to a landing page that, hey, guess what? Talks about CRM software. If I actually do Control F and I search CRM software, I can see it's listed here on the page. And it doesn't have to be like exactly one for one on the landing page where you must put CRM software, but you can be similar around it, like CRM software. Like Google can understand the context of the page, but I do recommend at least once having an entrance of the actual term on there. So that is that. I'm going to go ahead and mark this complete. Next up is, are you title casing the beginning of each letter in your ad? So you want to make sure you're using title casing. You can do a test for yourself. I have some friends that tell me that sentence casing works better for them. But generally, in my experience, title casing works better on paid search. So I recommend that you do that. So title casing, again, is when you're capitalizing the letter of each important word in the sentence. So I highly recommend you do it. Let's just take a look here at the Zoho example. You can see here, O is capitalized, C is capitalized, T, this is title casing, right? Versus, actually all of these advertisers are title casing in this example, which is great. So you want to make sure you are title casing as well. It just makes the ad more prominent. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this complete. And I'm using the Zoho example here because I have to be sensitive like privacy and stuff with this like potential client and stuff like that. So, but the same is true for you. You just go through in your ad section. Do you have minimum 2 ads per ad group? So super simple. Just go in your ad section. Do you have minimum 2 ads per ad group? Ideally, you're consistently testing. We want to be testing ads consistently, because if you're not testing ads consistently and you're not mindful of your click-through rate, your expected click-through rate is one of your components of quality score. So you can see here, expected click-through rate. In the case of this account, below average expected click-through rate is very prominent. And in my experience managing and auditing Google Ad accounts, this is the number one thing that hurts more quality scores than anything. And this is the one that's least in your control because it's Google's perception of often your ad will get clicked. So the way you can help move this in your favor is by consistently testing ads. And by consistently testing ads, you will drive a better click-through rate. And by driving a better click-through rate, you will ultimately result in a better expected click-through rate as well. So let's go ahead and mark that complete. All right. Next, are you speaking one-to-one, communicating benefits, answering objectives, and providing a call to action? So in your copy, are you speaking one-to-one? You're not using corporate speak, where you're talking to an auditorium versus an individual person. Are you communicating benefits in that H2, right, to differentiate yourself from other positions on the SERP? Are you answering objections if there are objections that you can answer on your copy? Or are you providing a call to action that moves people, it motivates them? So just coming back here to this example, I can see a very clear benefit: close more deals in less time. And then the position 1 does a great job of mapping them and mirroring the search intent, right? So I search CRM software, I read the first H1, I automatically understand the relevance. I look at the H2, I understand the benefit. So that's an example of a great job. So let's go ahead and mark that complete. And then moving on, are you using all the characters available in your headline, description, and path fields? You don't have to use every single one, but I recommend you use as many as you can. Ideally, you maximize every single character. You get 30 characters for the headlines and 90 characters for the descriptions. It's not a lot to deal with, so I recommend you use as much as you can and try to give as much information as you can to the searcher. Okay, moving on. Are you using as many ad extensions as possible, especially the core ones? So you can just go to the assets section of your account and make sure that you're using ad extensions as much as possible. So if you're not, this is a massive opportunity to improve your expected click-through rate. Site links, image extensions, business name, business logo, those 4 are the core non-negotiable extensions in my opinion. In addition to that, you should use as many of these other ones as possible to append more information to your ads. It makes it larger, will get it more likely to be clicked, better click-through rates, better quality scores, lower costs, happy days, right? So you want to make sure you're doing that. Okay, are you consistently testing new copy, ad types, and modifiers? So are you consistently, if you're not, you know this because you'll see the click-through rate going down, week over week, month over month. So you want to make sure you're looking at the change history and you're seeing, are they consistently testing new things? If they're not, then it's probably going to have a below average expected click-through rate. Also modifiers, you can use dynamic keyword insertion in your ad copy. So are they testing different variations with dynamic keyword insertion versus not? So that's something to be mindful of. And then the last step here is, are you sending searchers to relevant landing pages? This is the most important thing in my opinion. So if I'm going back to this example, I search CRM software, I see an ad about CRM software, the page should say CRM software, right? It sounds so basic and trivial, but the amount of people that miss this is dramatic. So make sure you have that strong message match. So we're going to go to mark that complete. And that's it for this step. So just go ahead and make sure you review your ads and extensions and you're following these best practices and you're making notes of where you can optimize and improve. Your action item for this lesson is to review your ads and extensions and mark each completed step within the checklist template. I hope you received a ton of value so far. Please share ad conversion with your friends or colleagues and leave us a testimonial. We appreciate your help spreading the word. See you in the next one.